Well, Eagles season is over. Welcome to episode 23 of Cheap Seats. I am Jay Sensi, joined by Tyler Kelvey. And bird season comes to a very, very disappointing halt. Birds drop playoff game in the wild card against the Niners. Game that very well should have been won for many reasons. And we're done. 2025 season is at an end. How you feeling, buddy?
Bummed.
Yeah.
And a little cheated.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little more realistic in being honest here. I did not think we were going to go back to back, but I thought that we should definitely beat the Niners, and we can make a mess of this if we get two in a row.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't lose in the first round. If you're a good team, if you're a well-coached team, you can't lose to a team that has 17 injuries and beat you with a double throwback pass. Like, you can't score 24 points. You haven't scored 20 points on any good team this year.
Nope. No, I mean, I think we knew most of the season that this team wasn't last year's team, that we just didn't have. We had the pieces. We just were missing something where this team just couldn't pull it all together. And I think it just got to the point where, if they didn't figure it out by week 10, week 12, this is probably what we were going to get. I still expected us to get past the Niners, given their, list of injuries. But this is kind of par for the course. I mean, I think, am I disappointed? Yes. Am I surprised? Not really. Just given what we've seen for the last, since September. Not surprising. It's just so frustrating knowing what could have been had we just gotten some kind of shit together.
Yeah, and it all comes from the offensive side of the ball.
Yep.
And that was the problem all year, and Kevin Patullo was to blame. So, Kevin Patullo, thanks you, but
Pour one out for Kevin here. Jeez.
With that. But yeah, KP was
Struggling there.
the product of a ton of scrutiny throughout the year, and that brings me to Kevin Patullo's the scapegoat. I feel a little bit. I feel that.
You pour one out? Nah, fuck Kevin. I'll drink it. We're not gonna waste good tequila on Kevin Patullo. The fuck out of here. Still tastes good though, even in defeat.
But yeah, to have I wouldn't say this was a collapse like in 2023, but it was very reminiscent of 2023.
Yep.
The offense was just, it's not even that it wasn't producing yards and points. It couldn't sustain drives at all. There was zero rhythm. For the first 10 weeks, we couldn't get plays in before snapping it at, 1 second every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just dysfunction, and poor coaching was the biggest thing in this whole season.
Speaking of coaching, you've got an interesting take. I would like to explore it.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's that interesting. I think if you watched the Eagles since Sirianni got there, he doesn't do anything that adds a ton of value. So just off the basis, don't call plays. Not a lot of these coaches don't, sure. But he was calling plays. He lost his play calling duties to Shane Steichen, which was kind of his choice, I guess. But Jeffrey Lurie and Howie is probably their choice, and we end up having success with that. He goes, gets a head coaching job with the Colts. Brian Johnson comes in, one of Sirianni's guys. This is my hire. The offense looked terrible. We collapsed at the end of the year. The offense wasn't great. The defense was terrible that year, right? So that was the biggest difference between that year and this year Is this is how the offense was functioning with these 3 and outs and the predictability. But yeah, and then we get Kellen Moore. We come in, Saquon lights everything on fire, but I still thought that, Sirianni's fingerprints were all over the passing game last year. It had no rhythm in the passing game. There's no easy targets for Jalen. It's either like a go ball or a hitch this year. There was no rhythm. There was no getting the guy out on space. Maybe a couple of those RPOs, but we stopped being able to run RPOs because we're not coached well enough. We're penalties. So Sirianni, what do? You can't fix the offense. The offense was terrible all year long. You couldn't fix it. 2023, the defense was absolutely terrible, and you couldn't fix that. So you can't fix the offense. You can't fix the defense. What do you do?
I don't know if anybody's got a great answer other than they keep calling him a CEO head coach. But, I mean, good CEOs make decisions to improve the business, and the guy's not doing it. I mean, he had plenty of opportunities this year. He gambled an entire year on promoting his buddy. All right. You had lots of opportunities to yank the plug, to change direction, to do something. And you didn't. You wrote it out. He had to know that nothing was going to change, right? There's no spark that just happens and, we've got it figured out. Same pieces, same coaching, same methodology, same game plan, and magically it's going to work. Like, if he couldn't fix it or wasn't willing to take action within the season to fix it, this is where we end up. And now what we're hearing out of the offensive coordinator coaching search is that Nick's balls are clipped. So he's got really no say. They're telling these potential candidates that they will have full autonomy and will not be overruled whatsoever to run the offense that they want. So you've got Vic Fangio on the defensive side who does that already. You've got somebody new that's going to come in on the offensive side that's going to do that for the offense. What purpose does Nick Sirianni serve? You're going to be a rah-rah guy? You're going to be a people guy. You can't be a people's coach if your fucking players don't respect you, if they don't like each other.
They don't like him either, I don't think.
He couldn't handle the A.J. Brown situation. If you're a people's coach, you would have figured that out.
100%.
And I think we're now in this dangerous situation where the Eagles organization has a head coach with absolutely zero power. And if you are a player, how do you follow a guy like that? How do you respect that? You can like the guy as a person, and maybe a lot of the players like him as a person. He's probably a fun guy to be around. But as a man and a leader, how do you sit there as somebody that goes to battle on the field and follow a guy that's just a figurehead puppet at that point, who's going to decide whether or not we go for it on fourth down or punt? That's the baffling part to me. And I did not take Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman to go that route. That's a very Cowboys type move where we got the big guy up top calling the shots. We got a puppet that's going to take all the fire and the heat from the media and then let the rest play out. Like, we always had coaches that had some balls. I'm not saying Nick Sirianni doesn't have balls. He has balls to go for it. But have balls to go and fix what's broken in your house, man, before it crumbles. And I just feel like by keeping this guy here long enough, we're going to do existential damage for the future of the franchise.
Yeah, I mean, if he's the rah-rah player coach, he did a terrible job. Because
he did a terrible job of anything.
Because really, Saquon was the saving grace.
Yeah.
Like, Saquon fixed all of our worries and all our woes. He was Santa Claus on Christmas. If you just believed he was going to deliver you a gift every fourth quarter for the entire season when we needed it, because the passing game struggled. Now, is that Jalen's fault? They're saying Jalen can't do a lot of stuff. Well, as a head coach, you have to do more and fix the offense even more to accommodate him and fix it. And if he's unwilling to do that, you're the head coach. You have to find a guy that will. His success is so tied to Jalen that now the reports are coming out that say that Sirianni is too soft on Jalen.
Yeah.
He's not like that with other guys. He gets obviously gets in people's faces. If you did that on a sideline at a wild card game, I would assume you've done that a couple other times in the privacy
For
of your own
sure.
practice facility.
Yep.
So, they don't like you. They don't respect you. You don't add anything as far as schematics go. And the thing about him is he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room.
Yep.
And I think a lot of these guys, so let's even go back, let's just talk about all his fumbles. Sirianni. So he was coming in, he was the play caller. He was supposed to be this offensive genius. He was awkward on the mic. His first press conference didn't go great, but he was a great offensive mind. If that's true, whoa. So 5 games into his rookie season, he relinquishes play call duties to Shane Steichen. Shane Steichen saves him. We losing to the wild card that year. Next year in the Super Bowl, we lose.
Yep.
Shane Steichen goes to the Colts. Brian Johnson comes in. Brian Johnson, what do we do? You're fired. You're fired. Bring in Kellen Moore, Vic Fangio, Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
And then Saquon saved us.
So you think Saquon's success last year masked a lot of the existing problems that are still existing this year? We probably also had them last year, but Saquon was just on a roll. And, when you win, things just don't get questioned.
Yeah. When you win a Super Bowl, nobody sees it. So, but, obviously A.J. Brown did. He was upset last year reading books on the sideline. What's wrong with the offense? A.J., the passing game. And that was the criticism for the last couple of years. And it was the criticism again this year. And I think KP was just doing what Brian Johnson did and did what he was told. You're the play caller, but you're calling all my plays in all these bad situations. You're checking with me, and you already know what I'm going to say because I gave you the game plan. And I think that's what he's been doing. I think that's why he was so. That's why he didn't want to fire KP because that was him. That was his guy. But he didn't have the cachet to say, no, Nick, I'm going to call what I want to call.
Right.
When you're the dumbest guy in the room and you think you're the smartest guy in the room, you make a lot of dumb decisions. And I thought that look on the sidelines that they gave each other when they were drawing up that 4 verticals into cover 4 and nobody's open, you're running into coverage.
They all look just bewildered. Deer in headlights. Like you could even see it in Jalen's face. Like I think he was shocked that they were just so unprepared for the moment.
Yep.
And you don't have a lot of time, right? You got to get a play and you got to go and you got to run that play. And the look on Sirianni's face, I think, is what cashed it in for me. Is like the guy just doesn't have it together. He's not there. So I mean, let me ask you this: I think he's protected because of the Super Bowl win. If the Eagles don't win the Super Bowl last year and have this type of year this year, do you think they move on?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'd be fired. If, say, we lost in the divisional round last year to the Rams, and then this year happened the way it went down, Saquon still got 2,000 yards that year.
Yep.
But let's say Saquon doesn't run through the snow. Let's say Matt Stafford completes that ball. They score a touchdown at the end of that game. Yeah, Sirianni, wouldn't you?
100%.
So my
100%.
thing is also, like, a lot of these, John Harbaugh went from 20 years with Baltimore to on the market being the highest paid coach in New York now. How long do you think Sirianni would wait to get a head coaching job? I don't think he would.
No, I don't think most franchises would consider him seriously. I don't.
And that's crazy and I feel bad because I didn't want to listen to it. And all the experts and all the people were saying, like, this guy's a buffoon. And when Saquon's running for 2,000 yards, you don't really care. You're caught up in the hype. But this year was exactly what, like, Saquon ran for 2,000 yards. Did you think he was going to do that again? I didn't. No. I didn't think it would be this drastic of a fall off.
Right.
But also, I was like, what is your B? That's your A. Hand it to Saquon.
Yep.
Let him go. What's your B? When they stop it, how does it work? Play action, throw it 40 yards downfield. Why is there no play action where he throws it 7 yards to someone and they pick up another 7?
Yep.
Like, there's no spacing. There's no timing and rhythm. And if that's Jalen too, that's where a head coach needs to come in and fix this guy because he can win. I've seen him make great throws. So to say he can't throw, but I watched that Houston Steelers game. They did an amazing thing. C.J. Stroud looked uncomfortable in the pocket. fumbling the ball. It did not look good for him. They started running the ball under center, and they rolled him out of the pocket and let him make easy reads with nobody in his face, a little bit a jog on the run, hit a tight end for 4 or 5 yards. They did a bunch of those and got him comfortable in the game. We haven't rolled Jalen out since he was a rookie, and it's not a pro-style offense. It's a boom or bust offense. It's like either negative 2 yards or it's a 40-yard bomb to AJ or Devontae.
Yep.
Like that's absurd. There's no rhythm to it. There's no 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. That's Nick Sirianni. That's what it was for the first 6 weeks of that 2021 season. And that's what it was like in the Brian Johnson year. I mean, we were a little bit still talented enough to score more points, and they didn't have the complete book out on us. But by the end of that season, that last like 5, we were getting torn apart by the Cardinals defense. Knew exactly what we were going to do. The Giants defense knew exactly what we were going to do, so on and so forth. San Francisco, after they beat us, they put out the blueprint on how to beat us. And I think the Bears kind of put the blueprint out to how to beat us this year.
Yep. Yeah. So let me ask you again, but in reality. So we win the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
We have this year. You wake up and you're Jeff Lurie 2 days after the wild card loss, the way that we lost. What would you do with Nick? I mean, I think everybody was ready everybody was ready to can Patullo, 2 months ago. But regarding Nick, do you make a different decision?
You can't. And I think that they're a business, and they're going to look at it like a business, and they're going to say, let's get through these next 6 months, and then we're going to get through the next 6 months. And I think that that's how they're looking at it. They're like, we're just going to get the best coordinator money could buy. We have all the groceries. We just need somebody to cook them. And Nick, you stand here and look pretty and take all the heat for all the drama that's going on, because for a while I was like, oh, they love him. There's no drama. There's so much drama. It's weird. He's drama. We've seen this.
Oh, yeah, he's drama.
Yelling at fans on the sidelines. The way he approached A.J. Brown. A.J. deserved to get talked to, but he's still a man, and he's still a millionaire, and you need to come at him not with kid gloves. Hey, excuse me, Mr. Brown. No, you go, listen, get the F off the field, and you say it like that, low-key, and then if A.J. gets loud, you get loud, and you got to get separated. But you don't run down the field screaming into A.J. Brown's face after he dropped the big ball like that.
No.
That's too emotional. You're ruining these guys. They don't like you anymore. It's hard to defend you. Like him doing how do you like that after Buffalo?
I was going to just bring that up. Yeah. You could tell AJ doesn't respect him, because you saw the look AJ gave him.
Yeah.
Well, he was right next to him.
But when I saw that, I was like, dude, that should be the last thing on your head. Like, what should be replaying in your mind is how the fuck did Jalen go 0 for 7 in the second half? How couldn't we get him a completion? That's not on the player no more.
Right.
Like, you see good offenses with Sam Darnold and these guys who are limited as well, but they protect them with getting the ball out of their hands in the easiest way possible to let them get completions early in the game and let their playmakers make a play. Get, like you saw with the Niners, they tooled up things to get McCaffrey one-on-ones.
Yep.
And let him touch the ball in space, and then juke and jive, they were holding them together. But we couldn't hold them together the whole time because they schemed him open eventually.
Yep.
We are incapable of that. Like, it's weird. It's just, if I'm A.J. Brown, I'm pissed too. I don't know if I would act the way he's been acting, but I'm not saying I like the way he's going about it, but he's not wrong.
No, I don't think he's been wrong. I don't think the way that he went about it was the best. I think it was a bit immature, but you can't say that the guy's wrong. So, I mean, going back to Sirianni, do you think this is his hot seat year?
100%.
It's got to be.
It can't not be. Yeah.
Here's my worry.
I'd fire him today if I was Jeffrey Lurie and them. I would go. The only reason you're not is because maybe you're waiting for there is a candidate. Maybe you're waiting one more year for Shane Steichen.
Yep.
And Sirianni is gonna either with this coordinator, they're either gonna win a Super Bowl or it's gonna fall apart, and then it's all on him, and we're gonna can him.
Yeah, I mean, is it worth gambling an entire year for when you've got this kind of talent on your roster, right? I mean, things change quickly in the NFL.
They back themselves in a corner.
Really good team to a real shit team real quick. And that's my worry, is that by gambling yet another year if it doesn't pan out, like we could set the franchise back for a while, right? You've got these guys in their prime.
Yeah.
For the most part, they've been pretty healthy. You've got a couple free agents, which we'll maybe talk about next week. Like we've been saying all year, we got a window. You got to capitalize on it. You've basically forfeit this year, and not only did you forfeit it, but things are more fucked up than they should have been in just a disappointing season because there's a lot of dysfunction in the locker room. If you do that 2 years in a row, you start losing guys. You're going to have to pay a lot of guys. You're going to have to make decisions on what to do. I don't know what they're going to do with AJ. I don't think financially it makes sense to part ways with him, even though they're saying he keeps asking for trades. I just don't think it's a smart business move. I think they're better sitting him down and paying him than trading him. But
what's cheaper, to find a new head coach or to
head coach?
Yeah.
I'm in the fire Sirianni camp too.
Yeah. I've seen enough. And it seems like this weird thing that just because he won a Super Bowl, like we got rid of Doug, I thought way too early. For whatever the reasons were, personal or they didn't vibe, they wanted him to fire people and he didn't want to fire them and he stood on business. I love Doug. I thought Doug was a way better coach and a way better leader of men than Sirianni.
1,000%. 1,000. Sirianni's a goon.
Yeah. Sirianni got a little bit of that magic dust from that era.
Sure.
Because Frank Wright was on our staff. Frank Wright was his mentor and head coach in the Colts when he was a coordinator. And so there was a lot of that 2017 vibe still around, but it's been wearing off. And it's only on the years that he's the guy who's supposed to have it all together.
Yep.
There was no Band-Aid. So 2021, Shane Steichen, please come save me. Then we go out and we spend big. We get A.J. Brown. Nobody can stop A.J. for a year. We're running the ball with 3 different running backs. Jalen's running the ball. Big arm, big throws. Great. Go to the Super Bowl, lose. Come back. Same thing. Do it again. Lose 6 or 7 games. Nobody can fix it. Like you can't have these years where week 10, you're like, this isn't going to get fixed. Like at no point did they fix any of the coaching.
No, nothing.
Like so many, like the Niners morphed the way they play offense and defense throughout the years by losing this guy and this guy and this guy. And we were so healthy. Can you imagine Sirianni in the position he was in? We would win 3 games if that many people got injured.
Oh my God, yeah. No, we got outplayed and way outcoached in that wild card game. It makes you wonder, like if you had Niners coach, what could you do?
And the thing is he's lost Super Bowls and not won them and whatever. But listen, if you're an Eagles fan, think of what if Saquon didn't hit every home run that he hit last year. We needed every last home run, and he had. The passing offense was in the bottom, lowest 5. They were like 3 to the bottom in passing offense. This is the same stuff, and it can't change unless you're going to do what they're doing. Hey, you have no power at all. We're just going to have an offense. Then what's the point?
There's no point.
Start it over. Start the new regime. That's what it needs to be. But that's the way they're doing it.
I know.
They're like, listen, we have the defensive coordinator we hired. We're going to let this guy that we hire come in. And then what do you do? Do you now try and scream in people's faces? And they go, dude, this isn't even your team.
Right.
Like, this is the problem more than anything, more than the schematics and the play call. I believed he was a rah-rah guy. But now you clipped his balls in front of the world. And it's all evident that he has no power in what goes on here. And every time they gave him power, he screwed it up. So there go, you're an idiot. You're a Super Bowl champion, though, so we can't get rid of you because some fans might lose their minds. And we're going to have to eat this. And hopefully the next offensive coordinator comes in, kills it, and then gets a head coaching job the following year. And then we're in the same boat.
Here we go again. I think it's a mistake. I think it's a coward move to lean on the Super Bowl win. I think in a results-based organization, I think every business is results-based. It's what have you done for me lately, right? And do I have enough confidence in you to take us there again? or take us further, right? And I don't think anybody could answer that question with a resounding yes about Nick Sirianni. And I think if it's not a hell yes, it's got to be a hell no. Yeah. And now would be the time to make the change. Because I think next, we're going to go, they're not going to get rid of him, right? They're not going to fire him this year. I think that's, all but set. But you've got 53 alpha men that you then expect to follow this goofball who doesn't do anything other than play nice with the players.
He's a mascot and a nanny.
A mascot's a good word for it.
Yeah. He's Gilly the kid.
Oh God, don't get me started. I can't stand Gilly. Sorry. If you're an Eagles fan, you like Gilly.
Yeah.
Great.
He's Gilly.
I don't like that. I can't stand that guy.
Listen.
I couldn't stand that they let him walk the team out.
That's what happened with Sirianni. They let him walk the team out once.
What a goof.
And then they're just like, I don't know. They're like, we already have great, coordinators in place. Like,
yeah,
a monkey could do this job,
Like Sylvester Stallone walked them out.
No, I get you. But
come on.
But Sirianni, that's what he's become. He's become a mascot. And they got to be very careful because if they lose this locker room, then but I think they have their fail-safe. The coordinator that comes in could be the next head coach. Very well, very close to at least for a half a season. Because if we come out and we struggle, he's going to get canned. And then the offensive coordinator, or if that's what they want to do, will probably get promoted.
I wonder if they're, I don't know if they would be saying this to the coordinators, but I think if I'm Lurie and I'm Howie, I would be selective of the coordinator to choose somebody that you think could be a really good offensive coordinator, but also somebody that could be a successor as the head coach, whether for a half season or a full season.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if there's a guy out there that I would pick. I mean, you could have made the case that Harbaugh might have been good, but he wasn't going to take an OC job.
The only one that it's an outside chance, but also him in the pros doesn't really work out, but I would like to see him and Jalen together again, Cliff Kingsbury. Only because, he's had a ton of success with Kyler Murray until Kyler just got too big for his britches. He helped Jalen at Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
He's coached a lot of these good quarterbacks, and he has success. Jaden Daniels had his best year under him.
Yep.
So he knows how to, scheme up for mobile quarterbacks and to get them to do what they do best more often than not, instead of having them throwing goal balls and hitches, So, but they love Mike McDaniel. I think that a lot of people are into that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would be a terrible thing because I think Mike McDaniel thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, and he might be.
Oh, he definitely does.
And he might be. Like, and when it comes to just X's and O's and drawing up play, he's a nerd. Yep. He knows all of it. And he would talk to Nick Sirianni about concepts, and he would be like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yep.
And then you have a riff in the locker room.
Right.
You have he's got autonomy of all his staff, and then you're the head coach, and he's like a little guy, and he's got that little guy energy, like, scrappy do, like he always wants to let you know he's in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that would go good. Daboll, I don't want him because if he's a successor to a head coach, possibly
he's gone.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
So
he's not going to work out as a head coach.
So that's why we're sitting with Sirianni. If there was a slam dunk, if Gruden called up the Eagles, they would consider it. I think.
You think they would?
Yeah, 100%. Yep. Somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a great offensive line.
Come on, John.
Johnny.
Chucky, make the call, baby.
Come on.
We love you.
Spider 2, Y Banana.
Come back to Philly, Chucky.
Yeah, that would be great. But, yeah, that's my take. I think, but if Sirianni's what we go forward with, I hope we get the right coordinator.
Yep.
But, like I said, how long is this going to last? And is it irreversible, the damage that's been done with him letting Jalen be the way Jalen is? Because apparently A.J. Brown's not the only one who is fed up with Jalen Hurts.
No, that's the report.
They call him Baby MJ. Like, he thinks he's Michael Jordan. He walks around in the suits, and he thinks he's Mike. And they're like, dude, you don't got game like that, you know?
Right.
So, yeah. And then AJ don't like him. AJ don't like Sirianni, I would assume, at this point after what happened. So
No, doubtful.
So this whole team is in a rift because once you get rid of AJ Brown, now it is, hey man, AJ was my boy. I don't think he was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And now it happened with T.O.
Yep.
You can lose a locker room really quick because they know how talented he is and they want him to stick around. And the only reason he's not sticking around is because of you.
Right.
Sometimes he's our boy. We kind of think you're a goof now. And now that you can fool some people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time.
No, that's a tricky game that I don't think is talked about enough is the locker room dynamic. I mean, you got 53 guys plus practice squad. They're not all going to like each other, right? Do you like every single person you work with?
No.
I never did, right? And that to that scale, when you've got to go and have each other's back physically, that gelling, that camaraderie in the locker room does not have to be perfect. But man, it's got to be where like, you know what, man, you're not my favorite person, but I'll block for you.
For sure.
I'll go to battle with you if you're going to go to battle with me.
Yeah.
And once that starts getting fractured, then you turn into a shit franchise.
Yeah, you notice that all the storylines come from the offensive side of the ball. Vic Fangio's got his guys dialed in.
True. Yeah.
Maybe that's why C.J. Gardner-Johnson was gone. Maybe that was a Vic call. But from what I understand is I think he was critical of the offense, saying how Saquon and us carried Jalen and the offense last year. Like, Jalen got the MVP in the end, but we were the MVPs. From what I heard, that was kind of the dynamic. It was like Jalen won the MVP, but the defense won the MVP. We're the reason why we're here.
Yeah.
Us and Saquon, and Sirianni wants to take all the credit for when things go good. And they're like, again, they're standing there being like, dude, that's Kellen Moore calling the plays.
Right.
That's Vic Fangio calling the other plays. You're the guy just screaming at the fans after we beat the Browns.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's an interesting point. That very well could have some hold some weight in terms of why CJGJ's gone. Maybe he was trying to voice some of the issues that AJ was, and he probably wasn't really polished about it. And they're like, yeah, this is going to create problems. We got to get this guy out of here.
Yeah, and I think if you're going to fix the Jalen Hurts project, I think you need a guy who's going to coach him.
Yep.
Not a guy who wants to be his buddy.
Right.
And his success is so tied to Jalen. He thinks that he needs Jalen to like him all the time. And it didn't even work because that 2023 year, they talked all about it.
Yep.
For week to week to week, how Jalen can't stand Sirianni.
Right.
And he doesn't respect him because of his IQ on the football field.
Yep.
His football acumen is not what they think it should be. So Jalen wants to be coached hard, and he doesn't. Or Jalen doesn't want to. He's a diva now. But that's something
one or the other. Yeah, I mean,
you got a deal.
That's possible. But
like Jalen saying he doesn't want to run anymore, like that, I can't believe that.
As seeing him as somebody who just wants to win and he knows that running is going to help him win, I don't see that either. I think you're right about Sirianni, though. I think he's like one of those parents that wants to be your parent and your best buddy at the same time. And you can't, that doesn't work. It doesn't work. You got to be able to tell the player or the kid, you can't do this, or that's enough time doing ABC, or you got to get your homework done. Like, you can't be their friend and their coach. You can't. You can't be their boss and their friend. It work. It's you can use that analogy across everything. The dynamic has to be one or the other. Be his friend. Don't be the coach. Be the coach, but then just be the coach.
Yeah.
Don't be buddy.
Yeah, their
can't do it.
Their position coach, they're buddy with them.
Yeah.
Not the head coach. The head coach should, you should be instilled with respect for him.
Yep.
And know that he's doing everything to get the ship right.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bother the captain too much because he's busy doing things.
Yep.
Like that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, but he's your leader. He should be able to lead you without, being, but also, like I said, he yelled at Jalen on the sidelines at a televised game, one of the most televised games of the year, acting like that. Like, does he act like that in practice? And if you're trying to be buddy and still throw tantrums, that ain't going to work.
No.
You're going to get beat up.
Yep. Mm-mm.
Like he almost got beat up. Like AJ Brown was like, he was a big dom away from maybe taking a swing.
Maybe. Boy, that would have been something to see.
But,
I would have been here for it, though. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
The way that game was going, it wouldn't have made me sad to see AJ clock him.
He needs one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, all they've done is put him in the best situation possible. And the CJ GJ thing didn't work out 2 times. I don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to me, he's with the Bears right now, and he's still playing. How about that?
He's playing well.
He was with the Lions after we dumped him. I think he got injured, but they were in the NFC Championship. I don't know what it is about that guy, but whatever his locker room presence is, I think we need a little more of that.
Yeah.
And less of what the accountability bunny and all that things.
Oh, God.
And here's the thing, too. Like, all the big breakthroughs with Sirianni, they were all somebody else. Like, somebody else told him, you got to let Shane Steichen call the plays.
Mm-hmm.
And good things happened.
Yep.
Laurie and Howie are like, we'll get you better pieces. Here's Miles Sanders. Well, we had Miles Sanders, but here's A.J. Brown. Boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's not a CEO, right? So if you're saying he's a CEO coach,
right,
that's what middle managers do. They get told by the CEO what to do, and then they disseminate that information to the players or the employees, right? You can't call a guy a CEO coach that makes 0 decisions.
Yeah.
Find me one CEO of any company that makes no decisions. They get paid for nothing.
We went 3 days in a row without making a cent. How do we fix this?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it happened 3 days in a row, then 3 days in a row, then 3 more days, and 3 more days, and 3 more days, all the way for an entire year.
Yep.
And he couldn't fix it. Well, he's not a money guy. Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, what does he do?
Well, he's not really a business guy either. You know what I mean? He's more like a people person.
Oh, so he's an HR guy. He's an HR guy.
So, because listen,
but he's not improving the morale of the team.
No, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
My thing with that is like
that to me sounds like a CEO that gets axed by the board quickly.
100%. His inability to make changes on the fly, because he's not in charge, and I think even like when things are going down, like he's got to go, Howie, Jeff, can I do this? Can I say this?
Yeah.
What is that? I would rather a coach in there who's going to coach Jalen Hurts to his full potential, who's going to get the most out of A.J. Brown.
Yep.
And he did, but he also didn't.
Right.
You know, so we're here where we're at. I don't want to part ways right now with A.J. Brown. As much as he pisses me off, I think like you got to run this back and you got to bite down on the mouthpiece and you got to just the message is, this is it. After this year, it's all gone. You're all going somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen, you too. AJ, you.
Yeah. Nobody's safe.
We did too much to put you guys in the best position possible, and all you guys have done is bicker and drama and be inept at your jobs. Like, I don't understand. Like, I've never seen an organization do so much lifting for. Some of these guys don't know what they're doing in the football realm, and they let talent, they over-evaluate talent. They let talent go, and they become something somewhere else all the time. The Browns are that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We're not that team. We get guys, we see them when they're what we see. Like we saw Quinyon Mitchell. Like we were chomping at the bit when he was it. He was it. Coop, he was it.
Yep.
Jalen Carter, he's it. Nolan, all these guys. You have a young talent, a great roster. You spent the most money on the offensive side of the ball, is what you're supposed to do anyways. And you build through the draft on the defense, and you get your plug-and-play players. They have done everything they can. And these 2 idiots, one idiot, Nick and KP, just ruined this year. They could not figure it out. What are you doing? Like all season long, what are you doing? What is this?
Another thing that I think I'm worried about for next year, because we're going to keep Sirianni, is the lack of enthusiasm and effort from the offense in the playoff game, right?
All season long.
Yeah, all season for sure. But I expected playoff time that they turn up, right? Yeah. They lock in. They know this is important. They want to win, or they say they want to win. and they come to play. And the defense came to play for the most part. There's a couple busted plays, right? That I think we got out schemed and some creative coaching. But
wait, you were saying Shanahan wrote some stuff up to attack the defense, regardless of what they're lined up in.
I think Shanahan actually does stuff.
Oh,
yeah, I think he actually does.
That'd be
nice.
That's why I said
and then executes.
When I watch the Niners and they beat us, I smile and I go, man, I wish we had something not that, because that's special, but anything close to that where you're watching it as a fan, and if you understand football, we're just getting out coached.
Yep.
Brian Johnson earlier in the season, we just got out coached.
Yep.
Earlier in the season by Sean Payton, a couple bad breaks, but out coached. Too many mistakes. Those guys didn't make the mistakes. We made the mistakes.
Yep.
And that's been our thing too. They're not a disciplined team.
No.
They're the most penalized team in the league. We can't run an RPO anymore.
Nope.
Which was one of our biggest weapons because Tyler Steen's downfield every single time. You can't run a quarterback draw because you get a hold call every time.
Yep.
It's wild. It just how unprepared they looked for that game. And then you hear throughout the year, they were like, oh yeah, we were surprised they came out in that 5 front. Like what? How? Shanahan has all of his McVay have all of the X's and O's checked off before they step on the field. A lot of times they lose because the players fail to follow the recipe.
Yep.
If they could play Madden and do everything themselves,
those guys are not unprepared.
They have all of it taken care of. We don't have anything past Saquon, bust one, and AJ go ball, and then play action to Devontae. And then, get Goddard involved when we really, really need it.
Yeah, roles reversed, right? If that game was reversed and the Niners were driving at the end of the game to try to win, you don't think Shanahan had a 4th and 11 play ready to go the moment that situation hit, that he had confidence that was going to give his team the best opportunity to convert or score? You think he would have sat there and looked around dumbfounded at Brock Purdy? He looked like Butthead from Beavis and Butthead. He's like, let's do that.
The look on Jalen's face is that of just pure, we already ran that play twice. Really? We're going to do it again?
These fucking guys, honestly.
So that's where I'm at. I mean, listen, you're going to say I'm over. A lot of people are going to say we're overreacting here, but we've seen it. And here's the thing. Just take the blinders off. The Super Bowl is great. We loved it, but think of it. Was it Sirianni who carried us there, or was it Saquon being so good and stupendous? I mean, he was jumping over people backwards, for Christ's sake.
Yep.
That's never going to happen again. Not anytime soon.
Right.
But you couldn't get 1,500 yards out of him, 1,300 yards out. You couldn't get him involved in an extension of the run game. The run game's just not working. Extension of the run game. Get him on some easy catches outside and let him shake and bake and make some moves.
Mm-hmm.
All you've ever done is throw him a swing pass once in a while with no window dressing, with no motion, no nothing. And the linebacker just follows him and maybe makes a tackle, maybe picks up a couple yards. Or in that game, you get a holding call.
Yeah.
So other teams do a better job, and they don't win Super Bowls. You could say that, but going 0-3 in the amount we did this year, you can't risk that again with this much talent. You can't. Unbelievable.
No. Well, we'll see how things unfold. We'll be back with other episodes, probably still weekly. Maybe we'll go to bi-weekly if there's a slow news week. But, we don't plan on taking an off season. We appreciate everybody's support. Thanks to everybody who's been subscribing on YouTube, liking the Instagram page. We're appreciative that you like the content. And we'll be back next week with maybe some other Eagles news, but we'll maybe also dive into free agency as well.
Yeah. And don't forget to put some comments. You guys agree with us, disagree with us, But in the end, we're all Birds fans. We just want to win.
We want to win.
And this was unacceptable, no matter if it was KP's fault or what. But engage with us, man. We love getting roasted even when we're wrong.
Yeah, the Niners fans really let us have it.
Yeah, we deserved
this week,
it.
Which we fucking deserved it.
Yeah,
and they
we believed.
They didn't hold back.
I thought Peter Pan was going to come with the fairy dust.
Yep.
Ken Patullo was going to call plays that worked, and AJ Brown was going to catch balls right in his hands. I don't know, but until next week. Probably, hopefully by then we'll have an offensive coordinator and a
hope
better
so.
direction on where we're going. And go Birds.
Go Birds, dickheads.
Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. E-A-T-L-E-S